Good evening and hello. Today I thought I'd share just a little bit about what I was up to this past weekend. See, I was down in Blenheim, New Zealand for the National Brass Band Championships. This is where all the best bands and some of the worst bands in the country congregate to compete against each other. There are 4 grades. You have A grade, which is all the really good ones, then you got B grade, C grade, D grade. I played in our local B grade band and how can I say this? We weren't burdened with success, coming a very heroic 5th out of 8 in our section. There were 26 bands overall, I think, and it was a great weekend of music and fun, really. It was pretty weird though in one particular sense because I kept having people come up to me recognising me from my videos, and it was sort of a bit of an overwhelming experience because I'm not actually that much of a people person, so having people come up to me is a bit like, what do I do? And then I even had 2 wayward kids think that what they needed in their lives was a photo with me. That was very, very strange. However, there was something that I enjoyed so very much, and that was all the trade stands. See, when you get a whole bunch of brass players together, there are many businesses that want to flaunt their wares and have people buy things from them. So the thing that I enjoyed the most was the stand rather that I enjoyed the most was probably the Besson stand. Took a couple of photos of showing the sort of things that they had around. So you've got this one here and you've got this one here, showing just their lineups of instruments that they had. So the 3 sort of models that Besson had on display were their International series, their Sovereign range and the Prestige range, and they'd have them lined up so you'd have a International tenor horn, a Sovereign tenor horn and a Prestige tenor horn, and you would just see the differences between the 2. You could pick them up, feel them, and see how nice they felt in the hands. And that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. There was also a stand that had a bunch of Yamaha stuff and a bunch of Courtois trombones, having a row of trombones that just brand new instruments that I'll dream about owning but will never actually own. Things like a 10,000 New Zealand dollar Courtois trombone with double Hagman valves, and it made me fizz quite substantially. There was also a stand that had a bunch of Dennis Wick mouthpieces and Alliance mouthpieces. I don't understand how a single mouthpiece just needs to be worth many hundreds of dollars. It doesn't make sense to me. But I also got to hold a plastic cornet, a P cornet. Now, I haven't played or I haven't held one of these previously, and it's actually quite an interesting instrument. Maybe one day I'll get my hands on one and do a review of it. And it sounded pretty nice. I got to play it briefly, but the resistance when you play it is so much greater than a cornet. It's like you have to put a lot of air and a lot of effort to start the note, but once it's started, it's not too bad. And I guess that's sort of symptomatic of plastic instruments. However, that P cornet was so much better than the plastic trumpet that I've played previously. So I think it's actually made by a different brand to the other plastic instruments I've tried, which wouldn't be surprising, I guess, noting the quality difference. There was also a selection of John Packer instruments. Now, John Packer is an example of instruments that are made in China, but like the Wessex stuff, is made to a much higher quality and has a much higher level of quality assurance and checking that goes onto their instruments. And they feel very nice in the hand. But one thing I noticed is that they had, I think it was either a tenor horn or a baritone there. And instead of laser engraving or laser etching or engraving the logo, and they did the old-fashioned thing of stamping the logo on. And although I didn't take a photo of it, I noticed that they'd stamped the logo in so hard that there are actually creases around the outside of the logo. And if you looked inside the bell, you could actually see the logo that they'd stamped in from the inside of the bell because it had gone in so hard. And that was something that I thought, really, that's the one that you want to take to a trade show for people to have a look at? But, it is what it is. So this is probably the first and last time that I'll ever have to play B-flat tuba in any sort of serious way. I'm having my surgery on my back next week, so I'm not going to be playing tuba after that for a period of time, if not indefinitely. So next year, if I go to the national competitions, I'm probably going to be playing a different instrument, but I'm also going to want to do a bunch of solo and other sort of events, because this year I was just doing band events. Next year I'm going to try and do some solo stuff and sort of challenge myself to actually make some nice sounds out of an instrument. Anyway, a bit of a rambling video explaining what I've been up to. Thank you very much for watching.